Hi, my name is Lukas Rackow. I am the Fulbright Foreign Language Teaching Assistant for German at the University of Scranton in 2019-2020. And since we're in lockdown, we're in quarantine, and I'm quarantined in this beautiful room, I will give you a talk about Germany, which was supposed to be on campus with some nice snacks. But since we're, as I said, in quarantine, I will just give you this talk online. And so I will tell you a couple of things about my beloved home country, Germany. And I hope this is interesting for you. You'll learn some new things, and you'll maybe be interested in learning more about German culture and the German language. And with no further ado, I will now start to present about Germany. And I will first introduce myself in both German and English. Hallo. Mein Name ist Lukas Rackow und ich komme aus Bochum in Deutschland. Ich unterrichte Deutsch als Fremdsprache an der Universität von Scranton. Heute halte ich eine kurze Präsentation über Deutschland. Viel Spaß! Hello, my name is Lukas Rackow and I'm from Bochum in Germany. I teach German as a foreign language at the University of Scranton, and today I will give a presentation about Germany. Enjoy! So where is Germany located on the map? So we're here, and Germany is just right in the center of Europe. We are right in the heart of Europe, and so here you can see it again. Germany, right between Poland and France. And how big is Germany, you wonder? The size compared to the US, and it is 357.23 square kilometers, which roughly translates to 137,846 square miles. So it's about 27 times smaller than the US. It's about the size of Montana and about 3 times bigger than Pennsylvania. So it's like 3 times Pennsylvania. It is a rather small country compared to the US. But it has a rather big population for its small size, much more than Montana. 83.7 million people live in Germany. So it is number 19 in the world when it comes to population. Most people live in the west and in the south and in bigger cities in the north and east. So you have the famous big cities of Hamburg, Berlin, Cologne, and Munich. So those are like the biggest agglomerations in Germany. There's also some other medium cities, and they're also quite interesting to visit. And I will actually show you a couple of impressions from different German cities, what you would expect when you come to Germany. First, next question, what is the language? The language of Germany is easy. It is German. And where is German spoken? Contrary to what you might think, German is not only spoken in Germany, but also in Austria, in Italy, in parts of Italy, like the northern part of Italy, in most parts actually of Switzerland, in Liechtenstein, and in Luxembourg, and also in parts of Belgium. And in Germany, most people, like about 90%, speak the German language. And there is some minority languages. There's a Sorbian language, which is close to Polish, North Frisian, which is like a separate language, kind of close to Dutch, Danish, Romani, which is the language of the Romani people. There's Turkish and Kurdish, which is mainly spoken by immigrants. And so today's Germany, when it comes to ethnicities, it is a modern and diverse country. So we have not just Germans, but we also have a lot of other ethnicities and people with a multicultural background. So as you can see, though the majority has a non-migrant background, there is roughly a quarter of the German population has some kind of a background with migration. So there's a substantial Turkish immigrant group and Polish immigrants, and there's also a lot of other immigrants, 13.3%, because in Germany we have, since 2015, there have been a lot of refugees coming to Germany, living and working here, and taking part in the vibrant culture of Germany, which I show you some impressions about. And I will take you through a little trip through Germany. And when you would go, like take a trip through Germany, we have the nice Autobahn and we have good public transportation systems. And from north to south, it would take you roughly 9 hours. It's approximately 560 miles to go from north to south. From west to east, you would get in even like in 5 hours. So it's roughly 400 miles from the westernmost part of Germany to the very east. So it's not, when it comes to the comparison to the US, it's really quite small. And we start in the north, and we actually have two coasts as well. Like the US, we have the North Sea and the Baltic Sea. And as you can see, it is quite beautiful there. It's the favorite spot of many Germans to go for holidays. You have the beaches, you have sand beaches, you have beautiful sunsets and sunrises, and quite astonishing and nice nature there. And it is really beautiful, and yeah, you should, if you ever get the chance, you should go there. It is not exactly warm like Florida, but it is quite nice in the summer. And in the north, we also have a very interesting city, a port city, Hamburg. So you see the coat of arms, the flag of Hamburg. Hamburg is situated near the river Elbe, and it is also a famous port city, one of the biggest port cities in all of Europe, and certainly the most famous port of Germany. And you can see the port is still it's a commercial hub, and it's also culturally vibrant. So there's still a lot of container ships and a lot of trade going on in Hamburg. But also culturally, so it's actually the third largest port in Europe. But also culturally, Hamburg is very interesting. There's a new opera house, which is a landmark of the city, and there's the famous entertainment mile, the Reeperbahn. And this is one of the best-known European entertainment districts, or one could say one of the best-known entertainment districts of the world. And you might not know that, but as also for music fans, for like classic music fans, like of the old rock and roll, we have the Beatles, and they did start their career in Hamburg. And yeah, they got famous, they got big. They started up there when they was pretty small, and after they got big. And yeah, they said they kind of became men. They grew up in Hamburg. So this is a place you certainly want to visit. Next, we go to the capital, Berlin. It is in the east, and is, I guess, one of the most famous destinations in Germany, and one of the most favorite spots to go to, Berlin. And as you can see from these pictures, it is actually quite beautiful and has a lot of different things that you can do there. So it's the famous landmark, the Brandenburg Gate, the tower at Alexanderplatz, and it has, no matter if you're interested in culture, in arts, in fashion, music, party, everything can be done in Berlin. And you could really say Berlin is like, it's not just one of the biggest and most exciting cities in all of Europe, but also it is their own universe. It's the capital and the largest city of Germany, and it is everything you want in a city. And speaking of the capital, politics, Germany is a democratic federal parliamentary republic. And you might probably know this person, Angela Merkel. She's the German chancellor, but she's not like the president, because we actually do also have a president. So she's the head of government, and this man, you probably will not know his name, is the head of state, and his name is President. His title is President of the Federal Republic of Germany, and his name is Frank-Walter Steinmeier. But however, he has not much power. He's more like an ambassador. He's more like an elected version of the Queen, you could say. So he will greet foreign dignitaries. He will represent the Republic. And this is the Houses of Parliament of Germany, which also is a favorite landmark of tourists in Berlin. And you see, Angela Merkel would be the one with power in Germany, and she would meet up with Donald Trump or with other foreign like important persons and decide politics. And the president is really more like a figurehead in Germany. And we come to the next place, and this would be the South. And this is one of the most famous cities of the South, is Munich, or München in German. And it is also very old and culturally very exciting city. It has beautiful landmarks and churches, and it's right, you can see it is the nice panorama of the Alps. And it is an exciting city. It is famous football, the FC Bayern München, and we call it football. You would call it soccer, and it is Germany's most favorite sports, and it is, Germans are crazy about soccer, really. And this is the biggest club, the most, the richest and the most successful club in Germany, FC Bayern München. And you also might, or probably will know, Germany for, and especially Munich, for the famous Oktoberfest. And there are Oktoberfests nowadays in all of the world, in the US, in England, in Spain, in China. There's Oktoberfest everywhere. But the original Oktoberfest comes from this place, from Munich. And I mentioned it, in the south you have basically the German version of the Rocky Mountains, the Alps. They are the largest and the highest mountains in Europe, and they stretch over Italy, Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Austria, or Österreich in German, and Germany. So they are international mountains, really. And they are also like the sea, both seas, a very favorite destination for holidays. So you have beautiful lakes, you can go mountain hiking and skiing, which is also a favorite pastime of Germans. And you can really enjoy the nature and the snow in winter and beautiful sun and lakes and friendly people in the summer. And now I'm coming to a very place that is probably not known to anybody, but it's very dear to me. It's my hometown, Bochum. It's in the west, and we say deep in the west. And it is probably not as exciting and big as Berlin, or not as well known and all as Munich, but it is quite a place I love. And it used to be a place where coal and steel were made. Coal was mined and steel was made, and it was seen as, like, the whole area was seen as dirty, working class, and poor. And so you see some pictures of the 1800s and the early 20th century. And it's really changed, because when you see it today, all the industry is gone, all the mines are closed, and the steel, there's only a fraction of the steel factories nowadays. But you have parks and you have recreation, you have museums. And what was the steel factory in the past is now a park and a cultural venue, and actually a place where you can go for runs or just have a barbecue and hang out with your friends in the summer, which is really beautiful. It is a green city. Like many cities in Germany, there's a lot of green there, and it's actually quite nice in the summer, and there is a lot of places you can just be and hang out and just enjoy. And also today there is education, and this is actually my university, on the top of a mountain, and also with a really, really beautiful view. It was the first public university in Germany after World War II. And so it's a quite young university. It's one of the largest universities in Germany. It has 42,425 students as of 2019. So it's pretty big, and much bigger than Scranton. Many people would say much uglier too. but I still like it. I like the view, and it is quite a place to be. You can see there's Chinese garden. Is in fall, it's even more beautiful. And what is interesting about Germany and education, especially a university or college education, is the price. So you see here the price per semester to be enrolled at the university is 332 euro as of 2019, 2020. So it is quite cheap and affordable. And education in Germany is generally free. And if you can afford it, you get the state helps that help you pay for your education. And coming to the German school system, I said it's free, and it is very different from the American system. So we have different forms of schools, and so you can go to these different forms of schools: Hauptschule, Realschule, after the elementary school, or German Grundschule, and the kindergarten, which is actually one of the few words in English they got from the German language. And then you can go and make an apprenticeship, which is also very common in Germany, and go also be schooled at the Berufsschule, or basically a job school. Or you can go to the gymnasium and then go to one of the universities and have a degree. So German school system, quite different. And yeah, you have to go to school at least 9 years or 10 to 13 years, depending on the school. So you see, it is not as easy and not as, many people say also not as fair as the American school system. So this is one of the, but it is free, which is actually, even private schools are free in Germany. So we have that, and this is actually something many people like. And now we come to some interesting stereotypes. So many people might know that in the context of the Oktoberfest, Dirndl and Lederhosen. And is this really what Germans wear? False. It is not. They are only worn in the south of Germany, around Munich, Bavaria, and only on special occasions. So maybe in some rural areas, it is worn in the daily life too, but mostly it's worn to special occasions like festivities, folk festivities, maybe family fests. The Oktoberfest, very important. There you actually should wear either lederhosen if you're male or dirndl if you're female. This is strongly recommended that. Another stereotype also connected to the Oktoberfest is beer. Is that what Germans drink all day? It is kind of true. I mean, we don't drink it all day, but the legal drinking age in Germany is actually 16 as compared to 21 in the US. So beer is much more common, even from quite a young age. So it's legal from the age of 16. And we drink around 110 liters of beer per person and year. So this is quite a lot. You can take a bath in that beer. And there are over 5,000 different beers in Germany alone, which is quite astonishing for such a small country. And we have the famous purity decree, which has been around since the 16th century, and is one of the oldest, it's actually the oldest food law in the world. Another interesting stereotype is the German highway, the Autobahn. It's crazy. So many Americans have actually told me, and I heard that in the news too, that they just go to Germany to really speed it up, to really go fast with a car. And this is actually true in Germany. There is no general speed limit. So if you don't see a sign with a speed limit on it, there is no speed limit. You can go as fast as you can. Of course, it's quite dangerous, so you should probably do it. And there's a lot of streets that are not in a very good condition, and it is they have a speed limit actually. You can get a driver's license in the age of 18 years. So you have to be 18 years old to drive on your own. So this is a little bit later than the US. but there are many rules, as this is probably also another German stereotype, that you have many rules for everything. And there's many rules for driving too. And these cars are considered quite safe. Another stereotype would be punctuality. Germans are always on time. Is this true? Usually it is. For many people, maybe not. It depends on the person. But punctuality is in society and culture is highly valued. So you should be. It's considered polite to be at least 5 minutes early to class or to a date or something. But nevertheless, public transportation really has to improve. So the official, like the German trains, they have a tendency to really be late, and we have a lot of jokes about that the German trains, they're never on time. They always have some problems. They always break down in summer. The AC breaks down in summer, and the heating breaks down in winter, so which makes them either freaking cold or scorching hot. And we also like to complain about public transportation, even though it is not as bad as we like to paint it. Another stereotype is food. The Germans eat meat and potatoes all the time. So this would be schnitzel and potatoes, typical German food. Schweinshaxe and sauerkraut, so like kraut and pig meat, pork. Or Weißwurst und Weißbier und Brezel. So we have sausages and pretzels and beer, of course, typical Bavarian dish. So as you can see from these like classic German dishes, it's often, not always. So Germans like to eat meat, as do the Americans, but not always. But they eat a lot more than just that. As a matter of fact, Germans' favorite food is pasta. And we also like kebab, which we call döner, which is, especially in my city and for myself, it's it's my favorite fast food actually. And for many people, it's the favorite fast food. You would get it and eat it while going somewhere or in your break, for lunch break. And it has actually been invented in Germany by Turkish immigrants. So it's a German-Turkish dish, and it's very famous. Another interesting thing is bread. We really do love bread, and there's over 300 different types. So these pictures don't even cut it. It's not. There's more different types of bread, over 300. And we like to eat bread for breakfast and for dinner. And this is just a German dream. And yeah, so this is actually already the end of my presentation. And if you have been my company for until here, I thank you for your attention. And I really hope you like this little presentation about Germany. And I apologize for the fact that we can't have a real presentation this year. And I'm very sad about it. But maybe you are interested in actually tasting the German food or going to eat German bread, or maybe go to the Reeperbahn or Berlin. And if so, I would really be happy about it. And I'm happy to share my culture with you and also with the students of the university. And I really love teaching here, and I'm really thankful for having the opportunity to be a teacher at the University of Scranton. And I really have to thank everybody who's worked so hard to make my life as good as it is here. And especially thank you for my students. They're just amazing. Okay, thank you. And I hope I see some of you people from Scranton again.